Alex loved nights with numerous stars sparkling in the sky. That evening, while gazing at the sky, Alex noticed a star shining differently from the others. Alex couldn't take their eyes off that star. With a wide smile on their face, Alex whispered in a low voice, "I will come to you one day." Only Saturn, the cat, heard this sound. Saturn meowed as if saying, "Me too, me too." Alex embraced Saturn and lay down on the bed. Opening a book about stars and space, just as they did every night, Alex randomly turned a page. In the picture on the page, a dark sky and a planet within a cluster of stars were visible. The planet wasn't very large, had rings around it, and its surface was illustrated with bright color tones. Alex wondered, which planet is this? How big is it in reality? Is it far from us? Are there other planets nearby? Alex asked themselves. Words. Oh, yes. The words must be telling the story. Meanwhile, the cat Saturn settled in closer. With the hope of finding answers to their questions, Alex began to read. Suddenly, the words from the book lifted off the page. Each word emitted bright lights, floating like balloons around the room. Alex tried to reach for a few of them. Above Alex's head, to the right, to the left, and floating in the air, were numerous words. Then the words started to combine and spin around the room. They turned and turned. Alex, feeling dizzy, closed their eyes. When they opened their eyes, they found themselves inside a spaceship. Looking around, there were lots of illuminated screens, buttons, and instruments. The cat, Saturn, also opened its eyes, looking at Alex from its spot. They were inside a spaceship, just like in the movies. Alex settled into the captain's chair, which looked spacious and comfortable, resembling the vastness of space, and fastened their seatbelt. Where would they go, and how would they operate this vehicle? Weren't you the one who said, "I will come to you one day"? Why not today? A voice asked Alex. The star they saw in the sky came to mind. Of course. Alex had said that to themselves at that very moment. It was their inner voice speaking. And suddenly, the spaceship started with a loud noise. Alex and the cat Saturn swiftly traveled with the ship. They had never seen the stars and planets so closely. They watched everything in awe as they passed by. After a while, the ship slowed down. Alex said to Saturn, "We must have arrived." There it was, right in front of them. The planet they saw a picture of in the book, Saturn. Saturn, the cat, meowed. They had arrived at the planet named after it. An announcement came from the ship, "You have 3 cycles. 2 choices. You can use these cycles to explore the planet or return immediately." Alex found themselves in an unfamiliar place, on an unfamiliar ship. They could see Saturn up close, very close. They wanted to explore Saturn. They immediately started preparing, first finding the equipment bag. They needed to establish a solid connection to return to the ship. After surveying the area, they decided to use a large, thick cable for this purpose. Alex said, "Yes. If we connect ourselves with this, it will be easier to return to the ship." The cable was so heavy that Alex almost fell headfirst twice while carrying it. They injured their hand, but eventually managed to connect themselves and the cat Saturn to the ship. Yees! Sliding down the cable with their cat Saturn, they began their descent. The strong wind swung the cable like a swing. Alex said to Saturn, "This wind is going to toss us into space, it's better to go back." Their inner voice asked, "Are you giving up, or what?" Alex didn't want to give up. They thought, why was this so difficult? Meanwhile, the spaceship started working with a loud noise. "Oh no, this must be the time. Did the first cycle end so quickly?" said Alex. They thought that the ship would start turning, and they might miss this opportunity. For a moment, they considered giving up. Then, with determination, Alex said, "Yes, yes. I won't give up, I can do it." They reached into their bag, took out the hand warmer. The cold didn't affect them as much as before. At that moment, another fierce wind blew in, icy cold and swirling. Holding on to the cable became more challenging. Alex said to themselves, I can do it. Using a hook from their bag, they managed to secure themselves and Saturn more tightly to the cable. Despite the strong wind, they succeeded in advancing, and yes, their feet touched the surface. But what was this? The place they stepped on felt like a swamp, even softer than that. The surface is not suitable for walking. I can return from here, Alex thought to themselves. Saturn let out a harsh meow, followed by, since we've come this far, shall we give it a try? Both the cat and Alex were very surprised by this development. You can talk, Alex exclaimed. I can talk, said Saturn, amazed. The wind had given Saturn the ability to speak. Alex and Saturn looked at each other in astonishment. The wind was still very strong, and they needed to hurry. At that moment, the ship started again. The second cycle had ended. Alex rummaged through the bag once more. They found a spray and managed to harden the surface. Holding onto their cables tightly, they stepped onto the surface, and although the strong wind was still challenging, they could make progress. It was an amazing feeling. Alex had read in an article that Saturn was the megastar of the universe. It was a gigantic planet, 700 times larger than Earth. It was the largest planet among all planets except Jupiter. Alex had seen a picture of this planet and, impressed by what they had read, named their cat Saturn. They had been together with Saturn for 2 years, and now they were on Saturn. Moreover, their cat could talk. At that moment, the ship started again. This was the third time, and now they needed to return. As they moved rapidly, they looked for something they could take as a souvenir. They spotted a small stone with sparkles on it. It was a simple but beautiful stone in shades of brown. Quickly, they climbed up the cable that connected them to the ship. As Alex and Saturn entered, the ship started working with a loud noise. They had just made it into the ship in time, thus, they began their return. Come on, Alex, get up, you'll be late for school, said their mother. Alex opened their eyes, looked around. They were in their bed, and their mother had come to wake them up. The book was open at the edge of the bed. First, they saw their cat, Saturn. Then the picture of Saturn on the open page of the book. When their mother left, they immediately checked their pockets. Saturn asked, "Is it in your pocket?" Alex smiled broadly and said, "Yes, in my pocket," showing the stone to their cat, Saturn.